In the far reaches of the Valoran sector, darkness stretched across space like an endless ocean. Stars flickered faintly, and strange nebula clouds glowed with colors no human eye had ever seen. The alien races of this sector were busy maintaining trade routes, building fleets, and guarding their territories. Life was orderly, predictable. Until the signal came, it started quietly. A small research station orbiting the planet Zitharon detected a pulse, subtle, rhythmic, and unlike anything known. At first, the scientists assumed it was a natural phenomenon. But the pulse carried information. Layers of complex patterns unfolded in the station's monitors. No alien language, no codes they had ever seen. It was as if the signal itself was alive. Dr. Veltrakian, the chief linguist of the Zitharon Research Institute, stared at the screen with wide eyes. This is not from any species we know," she whispered. "It is old, very old. I think it is from the humans." The room fell silent. Humans? The species had been considered extinct centuries ago, wiped out during the galactic expansion wars. Stories about them were like fairy tales now, legends of a race that had once challenged the galaxy itself, then vanished in flames of their own ambition. No one believed humans could still exist. Veltra's assistant, a small four-limbed Valoran named Trakil, leaned closer to the screen. "Are you saying they survived? After all this time?" Veltra shook her head. "I don't know if they survived, but something is alive out there. Something intelligent." Word of the signal spread fast. Messages flew across the sector to every major fleet and council hall. Within hours, the Galactic Council convened an emergency meeting. Ambassadors and generals from every known species gathered in the circular chamber of the Vorn Citadel. Their faces tense. Ambassador Frenix of Lithara, a tall blue-skinned diplomat, slammed his fist on the table. "If it is humans, why now? They were gone before we even finished cataloging their systems." Councillor Myrith of Zitharon replied calmly, "Perhaps this is not a greeting. Perhaps it is a warning." No one could answer. The signal continued, repeating its strange patterns like a heartbeat echoing through space. Some fleets tried to locate its origin, sending scout ships toward the coordinates, but none returned. Meanwhile, in the darkness beyond known space, a massive shadow stirred. Hidden in the uncharted reaches, the HSS Retribution opened its eyes. The warship had been silent for centuries, drifting through the void like a tomb. Its hull was scarred from battles long forgotten, and its engines were cold. Inside, the cryochambers held humans in suspended sleep, their bodies preserved with perfect care. Their minds, however, were fully aware, programmed to awaken when the time came. Now that time had come. A soft chime echoed through the control room of the Retribution. The ship's AI, Eidolon, activated systems one by one. Its metallic voice filled the empty corridors. Cryogenic chambers disengage. Crew awakening protocol initiated. One by one, the chambers hissed open, releasing clouds of chilled vapor. Humans stirred, blinking against the harsh lights. They were dressed in ancient uniforms, reinforced with modern nanofiber armor. Their eyes were sharp, intelligent, filled with memories that no one else remembered. Captain Arik Voss rose first, his frame tall and commanding. His hair, once black, was streaked with silver, but his posture was unbroken, resolute. Around him, officers and soldiers awakened, stretching their limbs, checking their weapons and systems. "Status report," Arik said, his voice steady, carrying the weight of centuries of training. Eidolon's calm voice replied, "All systems online. Navigation functional. Weapons operational. Signal source confirmed. Zitharon sector. Unknown entities detected. Probability of conflict high." Arik frowned. "Conflict? Explain." Eidolon displayed a holographic map of the Valoran sector. Tiny dots flickered across space. Alien ships scrambling to intercept the Retribution before it could leave uncharted space. "They are mobilizing," the AI said. "They know of your presence. They have feared your species for centuries." Arik's eyes narrowed. "Then we remind them who we are." He walked along the bridge, touching panels, activating systems that no alien had seen for hundreds of years. Every movement was precise, practiced, a dance of efficiency honed in a world that had been lost to time. Around him, his crew followed silently, trusting their captain as they always had. The humans were not the same as the species now in control of the galaxy. They were stronger, faster, smarter, not only physically but in spirit. Centuries of preparation, enhancement, and training had made them something other species could never imagine. Humanity had been underestimated once, and never again. Meanwhile, on Zitharon, scientists were still analyzing the signal. Veltrakian stared at her screens, her hands trembling slightly. "It's them," she whispered. "It's really them, humans. Alive." Tracheal, standing behind her, shivered. "What do we do? They could destroy our fleets in moments." Veltra shook her head. "We watch. We prepare. But mostly, we learn. Humans do not return for greetings. They return to settle scores." As the signal intensified, alarm sirens blared across the Valoran fleets. They scrambled to intercept, dispatching dozens of ships to the predicted path of the incoming warship. But the Retribution moved faster than any vessel known to the galaxy. Its engines, powered by technology lost to time, allowed it to cut through hyperspace with near-perfect precision. Arik stood on the bridge, watching the stars stretch around the ship. "All ships must remember this," he said quietly. "We come from a world that was destroyed, but we survive, and now, the galaxy will remember humanity." The first encounter came quickly. A Valoran scout vessel appeared on the Retribution sensors, moving to block their path. Its weapons fired. Plasma bolts streaked across space. Arik barely moved. With a slight gesture, he activated the ship's energy shields. The bolts slammed against the hull and dissipated harmlessly. Then the Retribution's own weapons fired. Laser beams carved through the scout ship's hull, disabling it instantly. It drifted lifeless, a tiny monument to the humans' return. Back on Zitharon, Veltrakian gasped. They're attacking." Tracheal nodded, eyes wide. "They are not attacking for conquest. They are attacking to warn, to remind." Across the galaxy, messages spread like wildfire. "A human warship is moving again," whispered traders in crowded stations. "A human warship is coming." Fear and fascination gripped every species. Legends that had been dismissed as myths suddenly seemed real. Whole councils debated whether to flee or fight, not realizing that the humans were not mere conquerors. They were a force of nature, unstoppable, precise, and guided by a cause greater than any one species could understand. The Retribution glided through space, leaving disabled scouts in its wake. Eidolon displayed the next coordinates, a path to the inner sector, closer to the center of known galactic civilization. Arik studied the map, his face calm but determined. "We do not seek destruction," he said. "We seek truth. We seek memory. And if anyone stands in the way, they will learn the cost of forgetting humanity." The ship hummed, a silent giant moving through the void. Its crew prepared, checking weapons, running simulations, and reviewing old records. Names of planets, fleets, and alien leaders passed through their minds. History was alive inside the Retribution. The humans remembered everything that others had tried to erase. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The Valoran sector was quiet for now, but it would not remain quiet for long. The first message had been sent, the first pulse of warning carried across light years of space. And deep in the void, one thing was certain: humanity had returned. The galaxy would never be the same. The stars stretched in every direction, silent witnesses to a galaxy that had long forgotten humanity. Yet aboard the HSS Retribution, the humans awakened from centuries of slumber moved with purpose. Cryochambers hissed open, mist curling into the air, carrying the faint chill of ages past. Systems lit up with a soft glow, consoles blinking to life, and a deep hum filled the ship's corridors. Captain Arik Voss emerged from his chamber, every step precise, measured. Around him, the crew of the Retribution followed suit. Officers, soldiers, engineers, all preserved through time, enhanced through careful planning, and trained for a war that had not yet come. Despite centuries of sleep, the humans carried themselves with the same intensity that had made them legends. "Report," Arik said as he entered the command bridge. His voice carried authority, and every crew member responded in kind. Eidolon, the ship's AI, spoke with a calm, metallic tone that echoed across the room. "All systems operational. Navigation vectors stable. Life support functioning. Weaponry at 79% efficiency. Incoming data stream from the Valoran sector. Multiple alien fleets mobilizing." Arik frowned, his sharp eyes scanning the holographic star charts. "Show me the fleets." A projection unfolded in the center of the bridge, showing dozens of alien vessels approaching from several directions. Each dot represented a ship armed with advanced technology, faster than light engines and weapons meant to challenge anything in the sector. Yet compared to the Retribution, they were slow and primitive. Probability of successful interception? Low. Eidolon continued. Probability of engagement high. Arik nodded. Then they will fight, and they will learn why humanity was feared. He turned to his officers. Prepare weapons. Run diagnostics on all energy systems. Activate defense protocols. The crew moved with fluid efficiency, a dance of coordination that had been honed for centuries. No hesitation, no doubt, only precision. Among the crew, Lieutenant Saren Kale approached Arik. Her eyes, bright and sharp, reflected the stars outside. Captain, the signal we detected, the one from Zitharon, it is not a distress call. It is a challenge. Arik's lips pressed into a thin line. A challenge. Or a provocation. Either way, we respond. But first, we must understand what has happened to Earth. For a moment, silence fell over the bridge. The humans had awakened in a galaxy that had moved on without them. Centuries had passed since the fall of their homeworld. Earth, once a cradle of humanity, had been destroyed by a coalition of alien civilizations fearful of human ambition. Knowledge of its destruction was incomplete, scattered across alien records, falsified history, and myths. Arik's jaw tightened. We will find the truth, he said quietly, almost to himself. And then, we will remind the galaxy who humans are. The first encounter came sooner than expected. A scout vessel from the Valoran fleet appeared on the Retribution's sensors. Its engines flared as it attempted to intercept the warship. Arik leaned forward, studying the holographic projection. Target identification? He asked. Eidolon responded. Valoran Scout Class Omega. Light armor, standard laser arrays. Estimated time to reach Retribution, 62 seconds. 62 seconds, Arik repeated, a small smile forming. Then we make our mark. The scout fired first. Plasma bolts streaked toward the Retribution, glowing bright against the void of space. Eidolon activated the ship's defensive shields. The bolts struck the hull and dissipated harmlessly. The humans aboard the Retribution remained calm. They had faced such challenges before, and this was only a reminder of their superiority. Arik gave the order. Return fire. Disable, do not destroy. Energy beams shot from the Retribution's turrets, precise and calculated. Within moments, the scout's engines faltered. It drifted silently, powerless, a warning to others who would follow. Message sent, Arik said to the crew. Let them know we have returned. Let them feel our presence. Meanwhile, across the sector, the news spread like wildfire. A human warship. It is alive, whispered traders and diplomats alike. Fear and disbelief rippled through alien civilizations. Some recalled ancient legends. Humans as warriors. Humans as inventors of war machines that could level entire worlds. Others remembered darker tales. Humans as relentless survivors. Species that never forgot. Inside the Retribution, the crew prepared for what was to come. Engineers checked the engines, confirming their readiness. Weapons officers ran simulations, ensuring every turret, every beam, every missile system was operational. Scientists reviewed alien fleet data, calculating their strengths and weaknesses. Everything moved in perfect order, like a living organism. Arik turned to Eidolon. We need to know what happened to Earth. What systems hold information about its destruction? The AI processed for a moment. Multiple sources detected. Valoran archives, Celian records, scattered reports from the outer sectors. Probability of complete reconstruction of events, 68%. Begin, Arik said. Every detail matters. We will not allow our home to be forgotten. As the ship glided through the void, the crew discovered fragments of history. Reports indicated that Earth had been bombarded centuries ago, wiped from the maps and erased from galactic memory. Arik's fists clenched as he read the accounts. Entire cities reduced to rubble, the oceans boiling, the atmosphere stripped away. Humanity had been punished for daring to exist, punished by fear and misunderstanding. Yet the humans aboard the Retribution did not mourn. They remembered. They had trained for this moment, prepared for centuries to rise again. Rage and sorrow became fuel for determination, sharpening their minds and reflexes. Captain, said Lieutenant Kale, we are approaching the Vorn expanse. Multiple fleets detected. They are positioning for engagement. Arik looked at the projection. Dozens of ships from different species forming a coalition that had not existed in centuries. They had heard of the human warship and now they moved to intercept. Yet the humans did not falter. "Let them come," Arik said. "We fight only if necessary. Let them learn the cost of underestimating humanity." The Retribution moved with unmatched speed, its hull cutting through space. Sensors picked up communications from the alien fleets. Messages in dozens of languages asked the humans to stand down, to negotiate, to halt their advance. Arik read them silently, his expression unchanged. "Response," he said. "Broadcast this to all fleets. Humanity has returned. We seek truth, memory, and respect. Do not interfere." Eidolon processed the order and sent the transmission across the sector. The alien fleets received it and paused, if only for a moment. Many were confused. Humans did not negotiate. Humans did not apologize. They acted with purpose, and their presence alone demanded attention. In the corridors of the Retribution, the crew prepared. Engineers checked graviton cores, recalibrated engines, and ran energy simulations. Soldiers checked weapons, loading plasma rifles, kinetic disruptors, and energy shields. Every system, every individual operated in perfect harmony. Arik walked along the bridge, observing his crew. "Remember," he said quietly, "we are the last remnants of a world that no longer exists. We do not conquer for power. We conquer for memory, for truth, for humanity." A sudden alert flashed across the main console. Another fleet approached, larger, faster, more organized than the first. The battle would come soon, but the humans aboard the Retribution were ready. Captain Arik took his seat in the command chair. He placed his hands on the controls, feeling the pulse of the ship beneath him. Around him the crew waited, calm, focused, ready to remind the galaxy of the humans who had once ruled the stars. The HSS Retribution glided onward, a silent giant against the backdrop of infinite space. Its message was clear: humanity was awake. Humanity was back, and humanity would not be forgotten. Outside the hull, stars streaked past as the ship accelerated. In every direction, alien fleets scrambled, trying to anticipate the humans' next move. But the humans had no need to rush. They had the advantage of time, of strategy, of centuries of preparation. They remembered the past that no one else could, and deep in the void one truth remained unchallenged. The galaxy had forgotten humanity, but humanity had not forgotten itself. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. A human warship was moving again. Whispers of disbelief echoed in the corridors of alien fleets, across trading stations and within the council chambers of powerful civilizations. Humans, a species believed extinct for centuries, were alive, and their warship, the HSS Retribution, moved with precision and unstoppable force. In the Vorn Citadel, the Galactic Council convened urgently. Ambassadors and generals from every corner of known space argued and shouted, trying to decide what to do. Panic and fear filled the chamber. Ambassador Phoenix of Lithara slammed his palm on the table. "We underestimated them. Centuries ago we thought they were gone, but now they are back, and they bring power none of us can match." Counselor Mireth of Zitharon raised his claws, trying to calm the others. "We cannot attack them lightly. Every fleet we send will be destroyed. We must find another way." General Theric of Celia growled. "Another way? The humans destroyed planets before. They will not hesitate now. If we do nothing, the entire sector is at risk." Amid the arguments, a holographic display showed the Retribution's path through the sector. Every interception attempt had failed. Scout ships were disabled or destroyed, yet no civilians were harmed. The humans were not reckless, but calculated. Every action was precise, every strike a message. Meanwhile, aboard the HSS Retribution, Captain Arik Voss reviewed the latest reports from sensors. Multiple fleets were attempting to intercept them, but the humans' technology and strategy were centuries ahead. "Eidolon," Arik said, "update me on the alien fleet's positions." The AI responded immediately. Multiple fleets detected converging on the Vorn expanse. Estimated numbers over 200 vessels. Probability of successful interception, low. Estimated time to engagement, 3 hours. Arik's eyes narrowed. 3 hours. Then we have time to prepare, ready all weapons, run full simulations, and keep shields at maximum. Let them come. Lieutenant Saren Kale approached him. "Captain, we should consider our approach. If we fight them head-on, many will die. Perhaps a diversionary tactic would work." Arik shook his head slowly. "No, We do not seek unnecessary conflict, but if they try to stop us, they will learn the consequences of underestimating humanity. Prepare the fleet's maneuvers. Precision is our ally. The Retribution moved like a shadow, silent yet unstoppable. The humans aboard felt the weight of history pressing on their shoulders. They were the last remnants of a world that had been erased from the galaxy. Yet their presence reminded every species of humanity's strength, intelligence, and endurance. Back in the Vorn Citadel, panic reached new heights. The alien fleet scrambled for positions. Communications crackled with tension. "We must stop them," shouted one commander. "We cannot allow humans to strike first," another ambassador argued. "But if we attack them now, they will destroy every fleet we send. Look at the reports. Every scout ship has fallen without a scratch to the Retribution. Even civilians were affected. Traders halted business, passengers abandoned stations, and markets emptied. Stories of human power, both real and imagined, spread faster than light. Children in the outer colonies whispered about legends of a warship that could move through the stars like a god of war. Inside the Retribution, the humans prepared for what was coming. Engineers ran diagnostics on graviton engines, ensuring maximum speed. Weapon systems were calibrated for precision strikes. Energy shields were reinforced. Every crew member worked as one, a perfect machine of preparation, training, and focus. Orcs stood on the bridge watching the sensors. "They are afraid," he said softly. "Every move they make is cautious. They remember the stories. They remember what humanity can do. Fear is a tool we can use." Saren Kyle nodded. "They do not understand that we are not here to conquer. We are here to remind them and ourselves of what humanity represents." Auric's gaze hardened. "Exactly. We are not monsters, but we will not be ignored. They erased our home, tried to forget us, and rewrote history. We exist to correct that." Hours passed. The fleets converged on the Vorn expanse. Hundreds of alien ships formed a blockade, their weapons ready, their strategy coordinated. Yet none dared to fire first. The stories of humanity's past victories, of entire systems devastated by human ingenuity, had survived in whispers. Every commander in the coalition knew the risk, yet their pride forced them forward. In the darkness of space, the Retribution glided effortlessly. Eidolon displayed tactical options on a holographic map. Auric studied the positions, analyzing every possible scenario. "They think strength in numbers will stop us," he said quietly. "But they do not know what we are capable of." Lieutenant Kale studied the map. "We could bypass them entirely, strike at the central command of their fleet, and force surrender without unnecessary bloodshed." Auric nodded approvingly. "Prepare the maneuvers. Precision, speed, and intelligence, Yahweh, these are humanity's weapons, not just firepower." As the alien fleets waited, uncertainty spread. Commanders sent messages trying to negotiate, offering peace, requesting that the humans stand down. Auric listened silently. He did not respond immediately. Humanity did not rush into conversation. They observed, they calculated, and they acted only when necessary. Then the first warning came. One of the alien ships, a Celian cruiser, attempted to cut across the Retribution's path. Sensors detected it instantly. Auric gave a single command: "Disable, do not destroy." Energy beams fired with surgical accuracy. The cruiser's engines shut down, its weapons deactivated, and it drifted powerless, a floating testament to the humans' precision. Panic rippled through the alien fleets. They realized these humans had returned not only with strength but with control, discipline, and a message. "Captain," Kale said, "they are beginning to doubt themselves." "Fear is spreading," Auric nodded. "Good, let them feel it. Let them know that humanity has returned, not for war alone, but to remind the galaxy of its presence. Every fleet that stands against us now will remember why we were once feared." Across the sector, the council chambers were in chaos. The alien fleets debated retreat, reinforcements, and strategy. Fear had taken root. Ancient records of human power, once dismissed as myths, were now remembered with grim seriousness. Back on the Retribution, the crew continued preparations. Engineers recalibrated engines to maximum speed, weapons officers fine-tuned targeting arrays, and soldiers trained in the simulated environments of the ship. The humans had waited centuries for this moment, and every one of them was ready. Auric walked along the bridge, observing his crew. "Remember," he said softly, "our mission is not vengeance, but remembrance. We do not destroy blindly. We remind, we survive, we endure. That is the way of humanity. Eidolon displayed a tactical overview. All systems operational. Probability of successful engagement with minimal collateral damage, 93%. Then we proceed, Arik said. Let them come. Let them see the truth of humanity. The first fleets moved cautiously, testing the Retribution's response. Minor skirmishes occurred, but no major damage was done. Each encounter reinforced the humans' reputation. Alien pilots spoke in hushed tones of the warship that moved like a shadow, struck with precision, and vanished without unnecessary destruction. Across the galaxy, stories spread. Traders and merchants whispered of humans returning from the dead. Children spoke in awe of the legendary warship. Historians scrambled to rewrite their records, trying to piece together the true history of a species once thought lost. Inside the Retribution, the humans remained calm, focused, and unyielding. They were not here to conquer, but to reclaim memory and respect. The galaxy had forgotten humanity, but humanity had not forgotten itself. Captain Arik Voss looked out into the void, watching alien fleets scramble in disarray. He smiled faintly. Let them panic, he said. We are the last reminder of what they feared, and what they should never forget. As the stars stretched endlessly before them, the HSS Retribution moved onward. The panic in the alien fleets would continue to grow, but the humans aboard the ship were beyond fear. They had endured centuries of silence, centuries of erasure, and now they were awake. And in every corner of the galaxy, one truth became undeniable. Humanity had returned, and the panic it inspired was only the beginning. The Vorn expanse was alive with tension. Thousands of alien ships, the first true coalition in centuries, gathered in an unprecedented display of power. Their fleets, once rivals, now united under fear of a single human warship, the HSS Retribution. Commanders barked orders, crews trained frantically, and advisors argued over strategy, hoping to find a way to stop a force they barely understood. Meanwhile, aboard the Retribution, Captain Arik Voss observed the galaxy's first united front against humanity. The bridge glowed with the light of star maps and sensor readings, showing fleets converging like rivers into a single storm. Arik did not flinch. He had expected this. Lieutenant Seren Kael approached him with the tactical display. They have formed a blockade across the expanse. Every approach is covered. If we try to pass, their combined firepower will overwhelm us. Arik studied the map, his face calm, calculating. They believe strength in numbers can stop us. They do not know the cost of underestimating humanity. Eidolon analyzed the fleet formations, find weaknesses. The AI responded instantly. Patterns detected. Coordination is limited. Communication latency causes delays in response. Probability of successful breakthrough if executed with precision, 78%. Arik nodded. Good, prepare the maneuvers. Precision, speed, and cunning. These are our weapons. While the humans prepared, the alien fleets trembled in their own way. Commanders argued. We must strike now, shouted General Theric of Celia. Their power is greater than ours, but hesitation will only give them an advantage. Ambassador Phrenix of Lithara interjected. No, if we strike, we risk annihilation. They have already proven their superiority. We need another plan. A strategy that does not involve immediate confrontation, but fear combined with centuries of pride, prevented agreement. The fleets were divided in their minds, united only by the looming threat. Panic and indecision spread quickly among the commanders and crews alike. Back aboard the Retribution, preparations continued. Engineers fine-tuned graviton implosion cores, ancient yet devastating weapons capable of bending space itself. Scientists analyzed the alien fleets, calculating their strengths, weaknesses, and most likely maneuvers. Soldiers trained relentlessly, simulating countless scenarios, ensuring every human knew exactly what to do. Arik walked along the bridge, observing the crew. Remember, he said, voice calm but firm, we do not seek to destroy life. We do not conquer for greed. We are here to remind the galaxy that humanity endures. But make no mistake, any attack against us will be met with full force. Lieutenant Kael studied the star charts again. Captain, if we strike the center of their formation, we can cause confusion without destroying everything. It will show them the cost of resistance while avoiding mass casualties. Arik's gaze hardened. Agreed, precision and restraint. Humanity has returned not as conquerors, but as a reminder. We will strike, but only where necessary. The fleets finally moved. Ships surged forward, weapons primed, energy beams crackling through the void. Panic and determination mingled in every alien crew member. They had never faced humans of this scale. Legends spoke of humans as unstoppable, relentless, and brilliant in combat. But now the stories were real. The first clash occurred near the outer edge of the expanse. A Celian battle group attempted to block the Retribution's path. Energy beams lit up space. Weapons fired in rapid sequences, and the Retribution responded with calm efficiency. Shields absorbed attacks, countermeasures disabled missiles, and precise energy beams targeted only engines and weapon arrays. The Celians realized quickly they were outmatched not by brute strength, but by calculation and strategy. Their ships faltered, engines cut, weapons disabled. Panic rippled through the fleets as reports arrived from every corner. Scouts destroyed, cruisers disabled, no human casualties detected. Captain Arik observed silently. They think their numbers give them power, he said. They will learn that strategy, intelligence, and precision surpass quantity every time. As the fleets tried to regroup, the humans activated the graviton implosion cores. The ship's hull pulsed with energy as space itself bent around the devices. The aliens watched in disbelief as a single human warship manipulated the fabric of reality, without fear or hesitation. Eidolon, Arik commanded, prepare spatial distortions to create openings in their lines. Target only gaps in formation, avoid mass destruction. The AI complied. Energy fields rippled through space, bending light and gravity. Alien ships struggled to maintain formation, some colliding with one another in confusion. The precision and control of the humans was unmatched. The Coalition's first real strategy was failing before it could even begin. In the chaos, Arik ordered a controlled advance through the gaps. The Retribution moved like a phantom, cutting through enemy lines without unnecessary destruction. Alien crews panicked, their fleets splintering under pressure. Every action of the humans was measured, deliberate, and awe-inspiring. Meanwhile, Captain Arik reflected on the purpose of their mission. We fight not for revenge, he said softly to Lieutenant Kale. We fight for memory. We fight to remind the galaxy of humanity's place. If we destroy everything, we become the monsters they feared. That is not who we are, Kale nodded. Our actions speak louder than words. They will remember us. The humans who returned not to conquer but to endure. The alien fleets tried desperately to reform, sending messages requesting ceasefires, negotiations, and peace talks. But the humans did not respond. They had no need to negotiate. Humanity's presence alone was proof of their capability. Every move was deliberate, calculated, and purposeful. One by one, alien commanders realized their fleets were fractured. Fear, hesitation, and the humans' precision had broken their formation. Ships drifted, engines cut, and panic spread like wildfire. For the first time in centuries, species that had been enemies united only in fear of a single warship. Captain, Kyle said, we have created openings in their lines. We can strike decisively if necessary, or bypass them entirely. Arik studied the stars, his expression calm. We will not destroy. We will pass through. Let them witness the truth of humanity's power and restraint. Let them learn that we are not here to conquer, but to be remembered. The Retribution surged forward, moving with unmatched speed and precision. Alien weapons fired, but each attack was countered or avoided. Sensors displayed the chaos among the fleets, confusion, fear, and awe mixing in equal measure. Humanity had returned, not as tyrants, but as a force the galaxy could no longer ignore. As the ship passed through the expanse, Arik addressed the crew. We have proven our strength, and we have shown our restraint. Humanity is alive. Humanity endures. Remember this moment. The galaxy will never forget us again. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. Alien fleets reeled in the aftermath of their first encounter with the humans. Panic and awe replaced pride. Legends of human power were no longer stories. They were reality. The HSS Retribution glided onward, silent and unstoppable. Its crew prepared for the next phase, knowing that the galaxy would continue to respond with fear and respect. Humanity had returned, and the lessons of the past were etched into every maneuver, every calculation, and every decision. Captain Arik Voss stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the distant stars. The galaxy has remembered humanity today, but this is only the beginning. Let them see what it means when humans rise again. And as the retribution disappeared into the depths of space, one truth was clear to all who had witnessed it. Humanity was back, precise, unyielding, and unforgettable. The galaxy had changed. Stories of the HSS Retribution and its crew spread faster than light. Traders, explorers, and diplomats whispered the name of Captain Arik Voss as if he were a legend come to life. Yet aboard the warship, the humans remained focused. Their mission was not to conquer, but to remind the galaxy that humanity had endured, that it had survived, and that it would never be forgotten. The Valoran sector and the wider galactic territories were still in panic. Alien fleets that had attempted to block the retribution were scattered, damaged, or forced to retreat. The last alliance, a coalition formed out of fear, had fractured. Commanders argued, sending urgent messages to one another, desperate to reorganize their forces. Yet every attempt failed. Humanity had shown the galaxy that numbers alone could not match precision, intelligence, and willpower. Inside the bridge of the retribution, Captain Arik Voss watched the holographic star maps. His crew worked silently, each human aware of the significance of every decision. The ship hummed with life, a testament to centuries of preparation and survival. Lieutenant Saren Kale approached the captain. "Captain, the remnants of their fleets are retreating, but they are sending messages, calls for negotiation. They want to know our intentions. Some of them are scared, but others seem curious. They want to understand humanity." Arik considered this, his gaze fixed on the stars. "We do not seek war," he said quietly. "We seek remembrance. We seek acknowledgement of what humanity is and what it has endured. We will respond, not with weapons, but with proof of our strength and wisdom." The retribution moved closer to the edge of the sector. From here, the humans could broadcast a message that would reach every civilization in the galaxy. The ship's communications array, ancient yet advanced, powered up. A holographic image of Earth appeared, glowing blue against the darkness of space. Oceans, forests, and cities reconstructed from memory and ancient records were visible. Captain Arik's voice, calm yet commanding, echoed across the galactic channels. "To all who hear this, know that humanity is alive. We survived the destruction of our home, the erasure of our history, and the betrayal of countless worlds. We return not to conquer, not to enslave, but to remind the galaxy that humanity endures. Remember us, respect us, and do not forget the lessons of the past." The message rippled across space, reaching fleets, stations, and distant colonies. Aliens stopped in their tracks, listening. Some were filled with fear, others with awe. Every species, no matter how small or large, now understood the truth. Humanity had returned, and it was not to be ignored. As the broadcasts continued, the humans prepared for the next phase. While the galaxy listened, the Retribution's crew focused on strategy, ensuring that no one would misinterpret their actions. Engineers recalibrated engines, weapons officers double-checked targeting systems, and scientists monitored alien fleets for any signs of retaliation. Captain Arik walked along the bridge, observing his crew. "This is our purpose," he said. "We do not destroy unless necessary. We do not conquer for pride. We act so that our presence is known, so that humanity is remembered. Every action we take must reflect the honor of our species." Lieutenant Kyle nodded. "And yet, Captain, some still fear us. They think our restraint is weakness." Arik smiled faintly. "Then let them learn. Fear is a teacher, but respect is the reward. We will show them both." Meanwhile, scattered alien fleets began to regroup. Some attempted to launch attacks from a distance, hoping to test the Retribution's defenses. Energy beams flashed across the void. Missiles streaked toward the ship, and smaller skirmishes erupted. Yet every attack was countered with precision. Shields absorbed impact, weapons neutralized threats, and the human crew maintained complete control. No unnecessary destruction occurred. Only warnings, only proof of capability. The AI Eidolon reported calmly, "Hostile engagements minimal. All threats neutralized with no casualties. Probability of large-scale conflict decreasing." Arik nodded. "Good, we continue. Let them see that humanity can defend itself, but chooses not to harm without cause." As the Retribution moved forward, Arik's thoughts turned inward. He remembered the stories of Earth, passed down through ancient records and fragmented data. Cities that had been destroyed, oceans that had boiled, forests that had turned to ash. Humanity had suffered but had survived. That survival was not only physical, it was mental, emotional, and spiritual. The humans aboard this ship carried centuries of endurance, resilience, and ingenuity. They were proof that even in the face of total destruction, life could rise again. In the heart of the ship, scientists worked to reconstruct more data about Earth and humanity's history. They pieced together records from alien archives, ancient maps, and hidden repositories. Every discovery strengthened the crew's resolve. Humanity's legacy, once erased, was being restored in the stars. Lieutenant Kale observed the readings. "Captain, the data confirms what we already suspected. Humanity was nearly wiped out, yet we endure. The galaxy will never be able to erase us again." Orcs' gaze remained steady. "Endurance is our legacy. Respect is our reward. And the galaxy will learn that lesson." Suddenly, a fleet from the distant Celian system appeared on sensors, moving cautiously toward the Retribution. They were hesitant, sending peaceful signals, unsure whether to engage. Arik studied them. "They are curious, not hostile," he said. "This is our opportunity. We show them who we are, not through destruction, but through demonstration." The Retribution broadcast an interactive hologram to the fleet, showing reconstructed Earth, historical records, and the accomplishments of humanity. Scientists, artists, explorers, and soldiers, all facets of the species, were displayed for the alien viewers. The message was clear. Humans were not just warriors, but creators, thinkers, and survivors. The Celian commanders watched in awe. Their ships slowed, their weapons powered down, and they communicated among themselves in whispers. They were beginning to understand that humanity's strength was not only in war, but in its mind, its ingenuity, and its resilience. Captain Arik turned to his crew. "This is the true victory. Not in destruction, but in recognition. Humanity must be remembered not for fear alone, but for its spirit, its creativity, and its endurance. Let every species in the galaxy see this." The Retribution continued its journey through the sector, leaving behind messages, holograms, and evidence of humanity's capabilities. The scattered alien fleets, once filled with fear and aggression, began to respond with respect. Ambassadors sent messages of acknowledgement, fleets withdrew cautiously, and historians began recording true accounts of Earth and its people. As the ship moved further into uncharted space, Arik reflected on what had been accomplished. The galaxy had been reminded of humanity's power, intelligence, and endurance. But more importantly, it had been reminded that humans were not monsters. They were survivors. "Captain," Kale said softly, "we have changed the galaxy. They will remember humanity forever." Arik nodded. "Yes, but our work is not done. Humanity must endure, continue, and rebuild. One day, perhaps, we will reclaim our home or find a new one. But for now, we ensure that no one ever forgets who we are." The stars stretched endlessly before the HSS Retribution, but this time, they were filled with possibility. Humanity had returned not as a conqueror, not as a destroyer, but as a reminder of resilience, intelligence, and courage. The galaxy would never forget the humans again. Captain Arik Voss stood at the observation deck looking at the distant stars. A new era had begun. Humanity had returned from extinction, stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever the future held. The legends were no longer stories. They were real. And somewhere in the vast expanse of the galaxy, every species, every fleet, every civilization whispered in awe, "Brace yourself. A human warship is incoming, and humanity has returned." The HSS Retribution glided forward, carrying the legacy of a species that had survived destruction, outlived centuries of doubt, and risen to reclaim its place among the stars. The galaxy had been reminded, humans endure, humans rise, and humans are unstoppable when united in purpose. Humanity's story was far from over. But one truth remained clear to all who had witnessed its return. The galaxy would never forget humanity again.